Big booty Latinas can stay. Protect big booty Latinas. Well, I'm trying to protect them. I don't want them to get deported. Dude, I'm on your side.
Hey, you say
I
that
want to
one more
protect
time.
you.
If he says that one
What
more
I
time,
say, big booty Latina. What are you gonna do? Big booty Latina.
one more time,
Big booty
Say
Latina.
that one more time,
Big booty
motherfucker.
Latina.
Fuck you.
What?
Fuck you.
Big booty Latinas get to stay.
Let's go to the back right now.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go to the back right now. I'll show you how much
Yeah,
of
let's
a
go.
coward I am.
Oh, I'm real scared. I'm real
Go,
scared.
go, go.
Protect her. I want to protect all big booty Latinas. If she's a 9, she's fine. Protect big booty Latinas.
He's calling me out, but he won't go to the back with me real quick.
I'm not gonna wrestle with 2 twinks and some fat Mexican.
Just fuck with this fat Mexican in the back.
If there's a taco truck right there, maybe. We want to protect big booty Latinas under all costs. Big booty Latinas. Big booty Latinas are welcome to stay, not big booty Latinos. His ass, he's got to go.
My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself why would I make time for you lames? At all costs, cause I'm a boss. But break them off, yeah, gotta break them off.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Prime Time with Alex Stein. I'm your host, Alejandro Stein, and we have an epic evening in store for you chat rats. That's right, we have the sitting Congresswoman. Very gorgeous, she's very smart, she's very popular for being, you know, an attractive woman, but she's much more than that. She's actually very interested in protecting women's spaces. So she's a hot woman that wants to help women. And a lot of women don't help women, so we want to give Nancy Mace the courtesy she deserves tonight by bringing her on the blimp and showing her some love and respect. So tonight will be very respectful, but that's Dr. Emily Trunnell. Okay, well, all right, with all that being said, let's welcome on our first guest, Dr. Emily Trunnell. She works for PETA. Doctor, how are you doing?
I'm well, how are you?
I apologize for that introduction. We're having a congresswoman
That's
after
okay.
you. I should have given you the intro. My director, he's been smoking Delta 9 marijuana, and so he doesn't know the difference between you and Nancy Mace. No, I'm kidding. We love our director.
I'm flattered, honestly. I don't mind being compared to her.
Well, you're very attractive as well. Thank you. Okay, so Dr. Trunnell, I get so much hate. I am what I call the plant-based pimp. I do not eat meat because I look at meat as even though I see the beautiful ducks at the lake, if I ate that duck, and I didn't used to be like this. Now I've been a vegetarian for now almost 8 years. What I'm saying, when I see that duck, I look at it like I look at my dog. You know, I don't want to eat my dog. And I love those PETA billboards that show the horse. You know, you go from the chicken to the horse, and you're like, which one is a pet and which one's food. So I love what you're doing. This is my problem. All conservatives make fun of me. They call me gay for being a vegetarian. They say you're a loser for wanting to protect animals. Why is it uncool to treat animals ethically? Why is this so hard? I don't understand, doctor.
I don't know, but I think that's changing. You know, maybe other Republicans can come around to the diet-based side of things. You know, I don't think it's very gay. I mean, you know, they show that vegan diets help your performance. So
the sexual performance.
Maybe...
Sorry, Dr. Trunnell, we don't want to get into it, but it helps your performance in the bedroom. That's a little known secret of the plant-based diet. A lot of people don't know, but you said it. So, but go ahead. Sorry, doctor.
But on a different issue, on the issues of, you know, animals used in experiments and testing, it's been mostly Republicans who have been on the side of ending animal suffering in that arena. So, you know, you've got some friends.
Well, that's why I had you on. Thank you for that information. And I think the biggest criminal of all this, whether you like him or not, I don't care where you fall politically, but the Beagle testing that Anthony Fauci did. And I love Beagles. I mean, and I even have a pit bull, but why not test on pit bulls? Why did they pick Beagles? I'm saying one of the best, cutest dogs, and I'm against pit bulls too, but I'm just saying, what, is this guy even more evil? To me, it makes him seem more evil that he's doing tests on a dang Beagle. The Beagles they're not even like you know what I mean? They're helpless animals, basically, and he's doing tests on them. Can you elaborate on what Fauci was doing?
Of course. I mean, beagles are unfortunately the most commonly used dogs in experiments, and it's exactly because they're sweet, they're docile, they're small. But beagles is unfortunately why they're the most commonly used dog. But under Fauci's reign, the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease was farming out lots of beagle experiments. They had a lab in Tunisia that was, you know, you've seen the videos of the flies all over the dog's head, and testing things like that. There was also, up until recently, a Beagle laboratory at the NIH that was using beagles in septic shock experiments, but
So
that's now been closed.
I don't want to get too graphic, but are they sticking tampons in beagles? I mean, I don't know how, I mean, what are they doing is that what they're doing? Well, how do you get septic shock in a beagle? I mean, is that literally what they're doing? The female dogs are just sticking stuff in their vagina, trying to give them septic shock? Is that what they're doing?
Well, it's not toxic shock syndrome that you can get from using a menstrual product.
Well, I'm not a doctor, thank God. Now I look like a total idiot. I thought they're sticking tampons up and trying to kill them. I know toxic shock. I know women have died from that. I've lost.
Yeah, no, that is serious. But sepsis is actually more common. So it can happen, you get an injury or an infection and your body kind of goes haywire. It starts attacking itself, your system starts shutting down, and you go into septic shock. So they injected these dogs with a toxin to get their bodies to attack itself. And sepsis experiments is something that on animals is something that PETA has been fighting against since 2013. These experiments, whether they're on beagles or mice or baboons, they have not told us anything about how to help humans with sepsis. Sepsis is the most deadly disease in U.S. hospitals. Yet we're spending billions of dollars to give it to other animals whose immune systems are completely different than ours.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. But where do we draw the line, though, ethically? Like, I don't want any animal to get hurt, but and I even look at a mouse. I don't like to kill. I would not kill a mouse. But is PETA's stance that all animal testing? I mean, can we do any test? Like, they do a lot of science experiments. Obviously, we're talking about animal testing on mice for human benefits is what they tell us. Like, I'm not trying to talk about like L'Oreal trying to sell makeup. We're talking about serious science. There is some serious science, not just done by Kylie Jenner trying to sell a new whatever thing, a makeup line. Where does PETA fall in line on acceptable animal studies and testing? Is there a line, Doctor?
There is a line in that, no use of animals for human purposes is acceptable. That's PETA's line. Whenever an animal is used for human benefit, that animal is exploited and abused. But the thing with experimentation, and we're talking, cancer research, Alzheimer's research, it is a utter shame. I mean, that is not strong enough of a word that these experiments are being done on mice and other animals. They do not replicate human relevant biology.
Well, that's the big argument. Well, Doctor, isn't that the big argument? Because whatever dosage that they give a rat is going to be totally different than the dosage per body weight that we take. So that we're not even, it's apples and oranges really, right? I mean, when using.
Exactly. And, I won't get too scientific, but, we're not in the early 1900s. We're not opening a dog up to see if that dog has a 4-chambered heart like we do. The thing that scientists are studying now is so specific. Our genetic makeup, how our genes are regulated, these things need to be studied in human relevant systems. And the statistics show that. I mean, 110 million animals are killed in U.S. laboratories every year.
110 million are killed every year?
Yes.
And there's, okay,
Yes.
and what is your, I mean, we don't know the real numbers, so there's 350 million Americans, allegedly, supposedly, that's roughly the population, roughly. So you're telling me, there's 110 million, so basically 1/3 of the population of humans, animals get killed every year for testing, just in America.
Every year.
Wow.
And at the same time, 95% of new drugs, so these drugs have gone through animal testing. They're what we're told, animal testing is there for, to give us safe and effective medications. 95% of the time, those drugs end up failing in human clinical trials. It's not, it's not a system that you want to put your money on. But that is changing now, thanks to some new initiatives from NIH and FDA.
Yeah, and can you tell us about this anti-animal testing documentary? We had it on the lower third. Can you kind of tell us what it's all about and where people can go find it?
Yeah, thank you so much. So that's Test Subjects. That's a film that I was interviewed for, along with a couple other scientists who, my background, I did animal testing. I experimented on mice and rats and neuroscience research. And it was through that experience that I really learned how broken the system is. I mean, people can do pretty much anything they want to an animal. They just have to give a scientific sounding explanation for it. The experiments I did, benefited nobody except to get me my degree. And it was that experience that really pushed me into advocating that, you know, animals shouldn't be harmed in this way and that we should be doing better science. So yeah, please, it's a very short documentary, only 17 minutes. You can watch it for free at testsubjectsfilm.com.
Well, obviously you're going to school, so it's like you're not going to like go into school and be like, I'm not going to touch these animals. So you kind of had to do the testing, but can you tell us like what was the bad part of it? What did you see? Because I mean, maybe you don't have to talk about your personal experiences. I don't want to, you know, bring up something traumatic, but can you tell us about something, you know, that was really horrendous you personally witnessed during animal testing?
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about it. You know, I didn't at the time, and I regret that, and I think people should know. So I primarily used mice and rats. I saw a lot of mistakes happen in the laboratory. I remember one time somebody didn't, so the rat cages have a hole on one side where the rat can drink from a little water sipper. Somebody put that in the wrong way, put the cage in the wrong way, and the rat didn't have water for about a week, and we found the rat almost dead in their cage. You know, animals euthanized without adequate anesthesia or being, you know, not conscious of what's happening to them, you know, animals not being fed, animals, you know, just all sorts of number of things that you would think wouldn't go on in scientific laboratories. The biggest thing for me, though, was that this was just kind of a, you know, it was just kind of a throwaway thing. It's like, oh, the reason for me doing animal experiments, this is what my advisor had told me, was so I could get published in a better journal and build my career as a scientist. It had nothing to do with whether these animals were relevant to human biology or the questions we were asking. I submitted my own, you know, proposals to use animals to the committees, and I was told to copy and paste things in there and not really give it a lot of thought. Just the lack of care, you know, when you're taking an animal who has spent their whole life in a laboratory, using them in very harmful procedures and then killing them, that should have to mean something. And most of the time it does not to the people who are doing it.
Okay, where does PETA stand? Would it be more ethical to test stuff on an illegal immigrant or a dog?
No, we have much better ways of testing. That's not a question we really have to answer. We have fantastic high-tech methods that use human cells, human data, AI, you know, these things called organs on a chip, which are 3D devices that you line with human cells. They can accurately predict how a drug will react in certain tissues of the human body. That's not really a question we have to answer because we have the tech to do it ethically.
Well, but I'm just thinking outside the box for 1 second. We set up a program, and I can get Laura Trump on the phone right now, very close friends with the Trump administration. Donald, friends with him, not much closer with his daughter-in-law and his son. What we do is we create a drive, an immigration drive. We test harmful drugs on human being illegal immigrants for immigration in this country.
I just think yeah. No, I wouldn't sign on to that. I don't think we need it, though. We don't
Okay,
have to
all right,
come
if we
up
don't
with
need it, you're the
another
doctor.
We got the solution.
You're the doctor. You know better than me. Okay, doctor, before you go, though. Now, this is a hard question because I'm having trouble with this one. Is it ethical? I have a senior pit bull. She has arthritis in her hip. They want to give her some CBD stuff, this and that. Would it be okay for me to rip a huge bong and blow the weed smoke into the dog's mouth for medicinal purposes to help with her arthritis, or would that be unethical?
I think that would probably be unethical. I would go with your vet's advice on that one.
All right, we'll give him the gummies. But I mean, it's hard because I can't. It's hard to teach a dog how to hit a bong. You know what I mean? I'm like, Ginger, to hit the ball, it's impossible. So I'm just like, all right, let me just.
It's not really a skill they have, but that's okay. They have the gummies now.
They have the gummies. We're going to give the dog CBD gummies. Okay, doctor, before we go, how can people find you and how can they support you and how can they support PETA? Because I know PETA is up and down. They need funding, this and that. And I'm sure with this USAID, I'm sure they're losing money. So, or I don't know that. I'm just kind of speculating now. How can people help PETA, and is PETA doing okay at the moment?
Yeah, we have wonderful donors who, you know, look at the work we do and know we're making progress. We're the largest and most effective animal rights organization in the world. We have bigger scientific team than any animal rights organization in the world. But we can't do this without the help of our donors. So you can go to PETA.org to find out more. And if you want to learn specifically more about animal testing and our plan to phase it out, you can go to PETA.org/RMD. I'm sorry, PETA.org/RMN for research modernization now. That's our roadmap.
And we'll put the link in the bio. And then I guess the last thing, did you love that show, Whale Wars? I used to love it where those Chinese would try to steal the whales and then they would go fight them. You know the show I'm talking about?
I have not seen that.
Oh my God, it was on Discovery Channel. It was about how those, you've heard about those, but you've heard about those organizations that go and stop the whalers that basically are out there in the ocean.
Sea Shepherd.
The Sea Shepherd, that's what it is. It's the Sea Shepherd, but you know, those guys are awesome. Everybody needs to go watch that content. So, Doctor, I just want to just applaud you. Love the work you're doing. I think that we need to help animals. They're, you know, helpless beings. I just wish more people, and I know conservatives, obviously they're doing more to stop this animal testing, so I love that. But I just wish, and I'm not going to outlaw, I think people should be able to eat meat. I wish you would eat a little less meat. You know what I mean? We eat so much meat. For every meal, you got to have a slab of bacon. You got to have a damn T-bone steak for lunch. You got to have 3 hamburgers. Have 1 hamburger. You know what I mean? You don't need to have 25 hamburgers, guys. I say have 0 hamburgers, but, you know, what am I going to do? I got to pick my battles. Doctor, thank you, and have a good evening.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, guys, Dr. Trunnell is great. Everybody needs to go check out her documentary. Okay, we don't have this, and I probably should pull it up. But before we get to the Congresswoman, do you guys see show contributor Joey C. has gone viral for allegedly not helping a person that was in critical condition, that had a broken neck, all right, allegedly had a broken neck. So I don't know how much you guys have seen of this, but Joey C. has been going viral. He's been making waves, and I need to pull up the video right now. Actually, let me just go to YouTube right now. Now, the reason why this video is controversial is Joey C. is on a live stream. And during the live stream, he decides that he does not want to end the stream, because if he ended the stream, he does not want to call 911, because if he was going to dial 911, he would have to end his stream. So Joey C. is not going to do that. Okay, let me see if I can find this Joey C. video. I should have had it up already, Jimmy. This is my fault. And is the Congresswoman ready? Have we talked to her team?
No, she's going to hop on at 6:30.
6:30. Okay, I wanted to have a little buffer time in case, you know, she wanted to hop on early or this and that. But I'm trying to find this Joey C. video of. Okay, this is it. This is the Joey C. video. Now, we'll let you guys hold on. We'll let you guys be the judge. Now, Joey C. is in Tampa, Florida. Can you pull up the laptop? Okay, right here. So now this is Joey C. in Tampa. Let me make sure you guys can hear the audio. All right, we have full blast. Oh shoot. Okay, cool.
Huh? Call you? I can't hear you. I don't know.
I broke my neck.
You broke your neck? Call an ambulance? I'm doing a live stream. If I do that, I'll have someone call. Hey, call an ambulance, somebody, for this guy. 7th Avenue and 39th Street. He needs an ambulance. He's at the bus stop. 7th Avenue, North 39th Street, Tampa, Florida. So it's East 7th Avenue and North 39th Street. He's at the bus stop. He's on the north side of the street at the bus stop until he broke his neck. They're coming.
Now Joey C. is getting universally crushed for this. So take Joey C. off real quick. Now if I can pull up this video. Joey C. is getting absolutely hated on and annihilated for this video. They even had a huge streamer, if I can find the streamer, a guy with 3 million subscribers wrote, or actually, hold on, it's a Misery Loves clip. I know exactly where it is. He did a little commentary video on Joey C. And I just want to say, I'm Team Joey C. If you see a crackhead at a bus stop say they got a broken neck, if you can talk, your neck's not broke, bud. Okay, so I'm on Joey C. Never into live stream. Now, this is my problem with Joey C. when it comes to that clip. Turn the phone around, Joey C. I know you're watching this. The whole point of creating content is showing people the stuff we can't see. So you filming your nostrils, Joey, and I love your nostrils. I think your nostrils are some of the funniest nostrils in all of the internet. Point the camera at the guy with the broken neck. We see your neck is fine. We want to see the broken neck. That's it. You know, you got to give us the payoff. I mean, Joey, so that's where I'm a little frustrated. But other than that, I'm on Team Joey C 100%. Now let me pull up Misery Loves Clips because he has a link to the video. But I want to see what the chat says. Does he have a legal obligation to stop what he's doing, end his stream, and dial 911? I honestly, I'm not even saying this facetiously, I feel like he doesn't necessarily have the legal obligation to do that. Now, some people would disagree. I think Jimmy Brandon, they were kind of disagreeing. They were saying that it was a little unfair, but I don't know. I think that it's not his responsibility if somebody's on the street with a broken neck. Okay, this is it right here.
You broke your neck? Call an ambulance? I'm doing a live stream. If I do that, I'll have someone call an ambulance, somebody for this guy.
This is a shocking video that I just recently scrolled across on Reddit.
This guy has 3 million subscribers. I don't know who it is, but this guy's a huge YouTube channel.
And holy cow, I hope that it's not. In this clip, we can clearly see a guy talking to his stream in vertical format. Then off camera, somebody shouts, "I broke my neck, please call the police," directly talking to the streamer. But the streamer says, no, 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 I'm streaming. I cannot end stream right now. He tells somebody in his chat to do so and then drops the address. Now, this just happened very recently, as little as 7
Okay, he's about to get mad. I just want to say he dropped the address. Joey C had 14 people on that live stream, so theoretically 14 people are dialing 911. That's better than one person, Joey C, dialing 911. And Joey C was on probably his hotel's illegal Wi-Fi. He probably can't even make a phone call on that phone. I mean, God bless his soul, you know, he was probably on a streaming phone. So
hours from the time that this video is being uploaded, and I was going back and forth as to whether or not I wanted to drop this guy's name publicly, because I don't really want to give him
Joey
attention,
C.
But his name is Joey C.
Yes!
He's a streamer from Tampa, Florida. You might think to yourself, if this guy's unwilling to end his stream to call 911, he's probably a big streamer and making a ton of money off
He is a big streamer. Fuck this guy, Jimmy. Book this guy. Book this guy that's commenting. I'll send you a link to his.
Got it.
He is a big streamer. He's one of the biggest streamers in the Dabbleverse. I'll have this fucking asshole know. She's my friend. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be cussing. I have a conversation. He's one of the biggest streamers in the Dabbleverse. This guy needs to know.
His live streams? No, you'd be incorrect. This guy only has a little over 7,000 followers. The stream itself has 454 views at the time of recording this, and what's more, people posted the link to this stream, so it was probably even less at the time that this actually occurred. At most, he might have only had 2 to 5 people in the live stream when this incident happened. Not that that excuses anything, regardless of whether or not you have 2 or 20,000 people. It's just a morally acceptable thing to do if somebody asks you to call 911 because their neck is broken, to do so. With that being said, legally you might think there's an issue with what Joey did, but the laws here are a little bit iffy. There's generally not a legal obligation to call 911 if somebody's dying, especially if you don't have anything to do with it, though it is the right thing to do just to avoid any uncertainty. I will say, I'm sure other people are going to be covering this in the future, so, you know, at least from me, please make sure that you don't go to this guy's account and give him hate, but if you're watching this video, man, you gotta do better. If somebody requires 911 help, just do the right thing, man. End your stream and restart it.
Joey, no, keep him on the stream. No, show him. Joey, don't listen to this asshole. This guy's an idiot, okay? You did a great job. You didn't end the stream. You kept the show going. That's the whole point. The show must go on. The problem is you didn't give us a show. You just were showing your nostrils and your left breast the whole time, Joey. You got to turn it around next time. That's the only complaint. I'm on Team Joey C 100%. He's one of the best streamers in the Dabbleverse, and this guy's an idiot for saying he's a small-time streamer. Listen, 547 views, not that bad. I mean, let's not demonize him too much for that. Okay, now, guys, this is really breaking news. If you saw over the weekend, in this footage, if you guys, I don't know how much of this we can show, Jimmy, but I just kind of
maybe mute it.
Yeah, let me mute it.
Because the shots might.
Yeah, you don't actually see the person get shot, but you do see him with a gun. So this guy is crazy. So what happened was this guy, Sin City Manny. But what's even crazier about this, Jimmy, is now they all went on this Finney, whatever this Finney guy, Finney the King or whatever, Finney the Legend. They all went on his YouTube channel, and I read these comments for nearly 30 minutes last night. Everybody's mad at Manny the Legend, the guy that died, because this guy had supposedly been doing a campaign of just making hate content about this. Okay, let me just give you a little backstory before we watch this video.
It's clear though, y'all.
This is the guy that died.
We all laugh and joke.
This guy.
This is a PR.
Finney.
This is a PR
and now this is just a clip. Now Finney, this African-American dude, he's been making content about this Sin City Manny and his family for years. They have an online feud like I have with many people, and it's annoying as hell, I get it. But what was different is that this Finney guy had started to, I guess they had started to copyright strike each other, and they were really worried about losing their channel. So things went from just words to copyright strike, which is common in this internet era, and then things got obviously way out of hand with this Finney guy dying. So listen to Finney describe Sin City Manny, the person that brutally murdered him in front of the Bellagio Hotel.
Y'all laugh and joke, but mental illness is real, and we can clearly see this guy is mentally ill. So one thing about it, that's why I want to put it on y'all too. If he give us another strike and I got 3, y'all know that channel mean everything to him. He don't got no outside friends, nothing. I don't think I could do it in my heart. And I'm saying this on live so he can hear it too. Shout out LDT. But I don't think I can take his channel from him, man, because I think he's so close to going in the closet, man. And he's so close, man.
Fuck that. You know what the first thing I asked you, did you give him a strike? Fuck that. Nigga. You swing at me, we swinging back twice. Boot him to the motherfucking moon.
Oh, so let me tell you this.
So this Finney guy died. This Finney guy's dead. And this is, let me show you Sin City Manny now. This is Sin City Manny the day of the murder.
Jerome.
This is the killer.
Out here searching for my baby. The fuck? I went through every fucking casino there is. I heard there's one of my biggest fans here in fucking town. I was dying to see him. Fucking dying to see him. What are we doing? Field bar tonight? Is that what we're doing? I'll fucking be there. I'll fucking be there. You better fucking believe it. You come to my city and think I'm not gonna show up? You fucking think I'm not gonna show up? I should have been the first one to be told. Right? Somebody should have sent me
So he's doing this weird monologue. He sounds like he might be a little high on some sort of drugs.
That's right.
So he's just driving around, and he goes on a 2-minute video about how much he wants to meet, and he's being vague, but everybody knows he's talking about Finney the Legend.
I heard that shit. I jumped out of my fucking bed. It came out here so fucking fast.
So this is very spooky. So this is the guy driving around during the day looking for Finney the Legend, and then this is him catching up to him later in the evening. That was on a live stream in Las Vegas, and Sin City Manny killed Manny and his wife. Now, what's so sick about this? What's so sick about this? Here, stop showing Twitter real quick, and let me show me. Let me pull up. What's so sick? Oh, Nancy's ready. Okay. Oh, well, we'll go back to the YouTube comments later. All right, guys, forget all that. We have to welcome on. She's an incredible woman. She's fighting for women and doing much more than a lot of these liberal libtard politicians would ever do to help women. She is a true champion. Well, let's bring her on, the one, the only, Congresswoman Nancy Mace. How are you doing, Congresswoman?
We're doing well tonight. Thank you for fighting the good fight for conservatives all across the country.
Well, I appreciate that. And Nancy, the reason why this is such a big deal, though, when it talks about women's space, is that this is, when it comes to transgenders in sports, this is an asymmetrical problem. It is only women being affected by men that change their sex to a woman and then compete against women. There has not been one example of a female becoming a man and dominating men's sports. So by saying that, oh, this is progressivism, we just got to... Only one group of people are getting affected by it. For me, that is an asymmetrical relationship. So then we know that there's a victim, right? There's a power struggle, and we can clearly see a victim.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's there's grooming involved too when you think about what they're doing to force underage girls and change in locker rooms with fully intact men, right? And so there's a gross element to this as well. But, you know, look at what happened to Simone Biles over the weekend. I mean, she started taking on Riley Gaines. Riley Gaines tore her apart because no one would know the name of Simone Biles if she had competed against men. And this is half the country. We've got women and girls that are growing up, and as Americans, conservatives are protecting them. And we're going to keep doing it. Donald Trump with his executive order to keep men out of women's sports. And I hope that Donald Trump will defund any state in the country that allows this to continue, whether it's Maine or recently California, that we don't give them a single dime from the federal government if they don't respect women. And it goes to show you how much the Democrat Party, they hate women, they're sexist, they're bigots, they're misogynists. Everything they accuse us of doing, they're the ones actually doing.
No, you're exactly right. It's pure projection. But when it comes to Riley Gaines and Simone Biles, you know, them fighting like that, is that good though? I mean, is that good? Does her apologizing, do you think that she's just doing that because she looks bad, or did you think Simone Biles actually like, oh wait, maybe Riley Gaines is right? Do you think she actually had a come to Jesus moment after this weekend?
No, I think it was a PR tactic. And it's sad because of the pressure that, you know, she probably was under, but also she's a huge icon for women. When we saw her tweet attacking Riley Gaines for standing up for women, almost every single young staffer or employee of mine in the office was crushed because they looked up to Simone Biles. They thought she was a great icon for women being a strong.
Well, they didn't look up to her. Time out. She's 5 foot, so they looked down.
Yeah, tiny but mighty.
Yeah,
she's tiny
but mighty. She's still great athlete. Great athlete. I'm just saying, but let's, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, young women looked up to her, and when she did that, she lost a lot of fans. She lost a lot of support, and I don't feel bad for her. She abused that, and really, it hurts women everywhere when she talked like that.
No, you're exactly right. But to see her do that about face, I'm kind of like, I wonder who got in her ear. But like you said, I don't think that it was very genuine. Now, we got to talk about what is going on in L.A., though. I mean, Congresswoman, I see these riots, and I see the illegal immigrant that got the flag of Mexico. To me, that seems like a foreign war. I mean, who else would we want to attack? I'm not saying they want to go out there and attack somebody, but if another person is causing chaos in our country, waving another flag, doesn't that mean we're under attack from a foreign nation? I mean, am I crazy for coming up to that conclusion?
It's literally an invasion, and now there's a dead body. Where they were looting, allegedly, there was a dead body in the middle of the street where that big looting was happening. But no, this is an invasion by people who apparently they love Mexico so much that they're coming to the U.S. and won't live in Mexico. Like, I don't understand it at all, what they're doing, but it's Gavin Newsom. Like, what do you expect from this guy? Him and Karen Bass, they've been lying to Californians. They're literally letting their state burn to the ground, and Donald Trump is going to save them.
Well, of course, but what did you think about the Mexican president saying that they want the Mexicans to protest? I mean, shouldn't we say something to the president of Mexico that's encouraging these people to do civil unrest in our own country?
We should probably also look at what we trade with Mexico and what we do to support Mexico. Maybe take some of our own taxpayer dollars away from Mexico if they're going to continue to permit this invasion into our country. We have negotiating tactics, and I'm sure the administration is looking at what's on the table.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because that's a great segue. I actually have a lot of negotiation tactics, and I know that I'm an unorthodox individual, Congresswoman Mace, but I think that we could solve this if I could get 20 minutes with Tom Homan. What we do is, and you love women, you want to protect women, big booty Latinas get to stay. That's it. If you're a 9, you're fine. If you're a guy, bye-bye. Doesn't that solve it? I mean, because if the women are really and truly, my housekeeper, Carmen, if you deported Carmen, now she's legal, thank God. That was a headache. But I'm saying, if I would have lost my maid, those sopapillas, I depend on those sopapillas almost every day to eat those sopapillas. I
love Mexican food, but you gotta say, tiene papeles. Do you have papers? You have to come here legally if you want to work here. And we welcome.
No, but the women don't need. The women don't need the papers, right? I mean, isn't that more of a guy thing? I mean, come on.
No, you gotta have papers. But speaking of the border and women, I'm gonna one up you here.
Okay.
We need to have Waffle House waitresses at the border. That would secure it in a
Hell
heartbeat.
yeah.
That's how we stop it, because those Waffle House waitresses, they can literally defeat 10 drunk guys, 1 woman. You're right. If we had just a location every mile on the border.
1 per mile. Yep. That's all we need.
Congresswoman, you don't get enough credit. They always talk about your beauty, but they don't talk about your brain enough. And do you feel like that is a critique, though? Is it hard being an attractive woman in Congress? I mean that earnestly. Is that hard?
No, I think it's harder being a conservative woman right now. I mean, the way that the mainstream media, Democrats, if I want to walk in peace where I'm known, I have to put on a wig these days because I might get assaulted. I have to have security everywhere I go because I use my platform and my voice to go after sick, trans, mental health, mentally ill men ideology. It's violent right now, and I think it's worse to be a conservative today than ever before.
And I love what you're doing, though, also with this revenge pornography thing. I mean, that is such an important thing, and it's a problem that we couldn't have foreseen this problem 20 years ago. I mean, I guess maybe when the first cell phones with cameras kind of came on it, but we didn't used to be just everybody could just take a picture and send it to 1,000 people instantly. So we do need legislation stopping this in the future. So how can we actually stop this and try to actually create punishments for the people that do this, because I feel like people know that they get in trouble for this, but they still share it, just like, oh, I'm not going to get caught. Like you smoke a joint. Oh, I'm not going to get caught for this. So they just do it anyway, even though they know it's illegal. They're just not worried about the consequences.
Well, right. And, Donald Trump was leading the way in that effort, too. He and Melania Trump had a bill signing for the Take It Down Act, Senator Ted Cruz's bill in the Senate, that would require revenge porn to be taken down within 40 hours when social media sites are notified. He is leading the way in that. I also have federal legislation regarding voyeurism. Like the Democrats tout VAWA this, VAWA that, violence against women to protect them. Well, I encountered some things last year and learned that VAWA really didn't do anything. So, when it comes to filming women illegally, there's no federal civil tort, and it's very limited in criminal action. And so I've done my part to file multiple pieces of legislation to continue the fight to protect women and girls, put America first. But it's also, we have states that have laws on the books that really stink. So in the state of South Carolina, for example, the first offense of filming a woman like that, it's a $500 fine. Like, nobody cares. It's just, so we can do more as conservatives to protect our women and girls, because this stuff is happening everywhere. It's happening to high school daughters, and colleges, college dormitories.
Buc-ee's the biggest gas station. It's a gas station giant. I'm sure you've heard of Buc-ee's gas station here in Texas, but the heir to the Buc-ee's throne just went to jail for filming people in his, in their vacation homes illegally, filming his own friends, putting hidden cameras in their rooms. So this is a problem that is serious, and with new technology, it's only going to get worse. So I think that we do need to put legislation and rules in. And I'm anti-government. I'm saying I don't like all these more rules.
I am too. I don't like the government.
Yeah, I know that, and that's where we agree. But I don't want pictures of my daughter, getting sent. Like, there does need to be some sort of guardrails in place, because that is a serious problem that is only going to get worse.
I agree 100%.
Okay, but now let's go back to the trans thing real quick, though. I go and I speak to a lot of young kids, and I'm very thankful. We do a lot of great work with Turning Point USA, and I love it. And I go to these college campuses and I debate these kids, and some of these debates are hard. And I'm sure you'd have to debate people, and your constituents want to debate you, and your opponents want to debate you. So
I love debating.
I know,
love it.
I know you like it. So this is why I'm just going to challenge you to something real quick. We just talked about protecting women, and that is good. I want to protect women, but Leah Thomas. When Leah Thomas became a transgender swimmer, became a women's swimmer, Google searches for women swimming went up 1,000,000% on Google. So could we argue that we should be thankful to the trans for helping women become more popular in their sport? I mean, are we demonizing them because now we're getting more clicks? Now Riley Gaines Riley Gaines wouldn't be the victim that she is today and the hero that she is today if it wasn't for Leah Thomas.
That's very interesting. That is you're not wrong statistically from a data perspective. You're not wrong, but I will never thank the trans movement for what it has turned this country into and harmed so many women and girls. I won't do it. I've never shaken Tim McBride's hand. I don't plan on it either.
Well, Congresswoman, just follow me, because this is I'm going to take you on a little ride. You're right. I don't want to shake, Mr. McBride's hand either. I mean, Lord knows what's been on those hands. Yeah. Ugh, I don't even want to think about that. But Nancy, I'm sure you'd like to, that's a nice necklace. You like to have nice stuff. I like to have nice stuff. I get paid well at the Blaze, but I want more money. I made about $37,000 gambling on Leah Thomas because when you can let transgenders in women's sports, they have a physical edge. So by you outlawing transgenders in women's sports, it makes it much harder to gamble on them. So this is my point.
You bet on it.
Yeah,
and
I won. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes, that's why I'm sick of you conservatives outlawing these trans in women's sports. I can gamble on them and win money, Congresswoman. So isn't that really
what? Oh my. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm dead serious.
That's brilliant. I mean, that's brilliant.
No, listen, how much I won on. No, Congresswoman. So I did about $37,000 on that. Jimmy, can Congresswoman here tell her how much I won on Lily Tung Wang? What was that Olympic boxer?
It was you parlayed a main Khalif.
I won $78,000. Not even kidding. Betting on a main Khalif.
How much?
$78,000. I'm dead serious.
You've made over $100,000 on trannies.
Yes.
Oh my God, that is both sick and brilliant.
I know.
Sick and brilliant.
I know.
It's disgusting and brilliant at the same time. I don't know how you walk. I respect it.
Now for phase 3 of it. Now for phase 3. We let the transgenders compete against the women. We use the national debt. We gamble on the transgenders. They win. We wipe the national debt. And then boom, bam. I mean, how does that not work? We have a sure thing bet. The debt's only getting bigger. We take some of that money. Hey, let's get some of that money, put it on, Leah Thomas or whatever. The debt's fixed, and then everybody's happy. I mean,
And you actually want higher taxes then, right? You want to have to force all your winnings to go to the government, or the government bets on it.
well, that's what I'm saying. No. I'm saying I want my tax dollars to use for gambling because I already use all my money for gambling anyway. So why not just let the United States government gamble a little
What
bit?
apps do you use for gambling? How are you gambling?
Don't worry about that. That's between me and my illegal bookie, Dontarius. And don't worry about him. He will, if you owe him money, he will come to see you. And
I don't want to meet your bookie.
No, you don't. No, you don't. And he's a very nice guy. He's a lovely guy. Lovely guy. Just got out of jail recently. But he was not guilty. Okay. Before we go there, though, back to the transports. Now, also, Donald Trump has put in place legislation to stop transgenders in the military. And I have to be honest, I think I disagree with this too, because if you look at our military, right, Congresswoman Mace, and you look at transgenders, I'm just talking about statistically, you want a mean, tough military, right? Nobody's meaner than a transgender person.
No one's more violent than a transgender person.
Nobody's better at doing a school shooting or mass shooting than a transgender person. We give them the guns, we put them on the front line. The trans are out there like Rambo, and they're going to fit in. They're going to be like a pig in poop. You know what I mean? They're going to love it. I mean, is that...
I don't know. They love Hamas a lot, though. You know, are they going to shoot someone in...
The Hamas will throw them off the roof! Nancy, the Hamas will throw them off the roof!
I know they will, but they protest in favor of Hamas here. I don't know that they could shoot a terrorist because they love them.
No, that's why we got to send them over there, of course. Over there, we get them over there. So they're killing the terrorists. They're getting thrown off the roofs by the terrorists.
Yeah, but they like the terrorists because, I mean, look what they're doing. Trantifa in California, burning it down. Right? I agree with you, but I don't think they would shoot a terrorist in the Middle East because they like him so much.
That's a sad, weird, confused person that will go there and protest for Palestinian people that would literally murder them. It's kind of a weird moral conundrum.
They would decapitate him in a heartbeat. They wouldn't last 5 minutes or throw him off a roof, 100%.
No, it's a serious thing. Okay, now I want to ask you a hard question, though. Kristi Noem, another beautiful politician. I have to be honest, I used to think that she was a little hotter than you, but then once I found out about the dog stuff, I'm like, Nancy Mace is so much hotter than Kristi Noem. Do you think that dog thing hurt her a lot? And I still love Kristi Noem, but that dog thing, that was a pretty bad PR thing.
Yeah, it was hard to read that. I love animals. In fact, my dog is sitting down in front of me at my feet right now as I do this interview. My dog Liberty, she's 6.5 pounds. She loves freedom, the Constitution, and bacon.
Oh my gosh, who doesn't love bacon? But we love those dogs. I know Kristi did that with the dogs. So let's kind of rank though these, and you know, we don't have to get too catty because we love women, but Jasmine Crockett is now I guess she's kind of like the minor league AOC. She's become this firebrand politician, and I'm in Dallas. I have an office. I actually don't live in her district, but I have an office in her district. She is an idiot. And I mean that with all due respect. I'm an idiot, so I can call her one. How is she becoming like AOC Jr. when you know that it's a tough place to make it on Capitol Hill? It's just a hard place. Yes. Everybody's coming for your throat, this and that. And she's actually, whether we want to be intellectually honest, she is having success. She's getting a lot of interviews. She's getting a lot of media attention. So how is a person so dumb being so successful?
Well, it's an act. I mean, honest to God, she's acting. And if you've seen her interviews previous to her coming to Congress, she was a normal, seemingly successful attorney woman, you know, in Texas. And then she came here and it's a different accent, it's different clothing, it's a different look, a different vibe, I guess. And so I see it as being, it's not authentic, it's just an act. AOC was the same way. And she caught lightning in a bottle and she's just acting while she's up here. She's just doing this to raise money and grow her brand, I guess, and do more media interviews.
Is it true Jasmine Crockett's trying to smoke weed in Capitol Hill, like during some?
I haven't heard that. Is that the rumor?
That's the rumor. Is that it's like one of her staffers is, you know, trying to legalize it or something like that. But DC, it's decriminalized. You can pretty much do anything in DC. Now, tell us about you talk about how one of your constituents, a viral video, we don't need to see it, you know, confronted you. I do think that there's kind of this gray area where you do have to interact with your constituents, but there is kind of time and place for it. You know, like I get that. I understand that. You know, you want to be able to go to the grocery store. But how do you deal with that for your constituents than when you're in DC and you're dealing with like fentanyl, crack addicts? Like where do you feel safer now after you see videos of your own constituents kind of confronting you?
Well, I don't feel safe. I mean, that's why I have security guards wherever I go. Even when I'm on the Capitol, I was assaulted on the Capitol last year, and of course, nothing happened with that. I've had people come up and get in my face. The thing with the Ulta video is I was backed in a corner, and kind of like in a dead end, and this guy was filming me the whole time. I felt threatened, and I have post-traumatic stress disorder, and so it's fight or flight. And I will tell you, I'm a fighter. So like if we have to throw down, we're going to throw down. And so I was feeling very threatened, and it was totally inappropriate behavior. And it is what it is. And I'm now filming people when I go out in public. I'm like, I will make you famous now, because I'm not going to put up with it, whether I'm in South Carolina or I'm in DC or somewhere else traveling. I will be at Turning Point USA this weekend in Dallas. I will not put up with it. I'm a fighter, and people know that, and I don't put up with the BS. So it is what it is. But I'm going to punch back, and I punch hard.
And I promise you, when you get to Texas and the Dallas DFW area, you're going to be treated with respect. I mean, there are some illegal immigration protests that are happening it's the Day of No Kings, or the No Kings protest that's happening this Saturday. This weekend. So I think you're going to be totally safe. You're going to be at the Gaylord Texan, a 5-star resort in the DFW area, or maybe 4.5 stars, whatever. It's a nice place. Are you worried about, though, this National Day of Civil Unrest coming up? Have you heard anybody talk about it? I am,
and in fact, I spent this week reaching out to my mayors, my police chiefs, to see where the protests are going to be in our district. I am concerned. When Black Lives Matter protested a couple of years ago, they tried to burn down downtown Charleston, and we were boarding up businesses and all of that. And I want to make sure that we're going to be South Carolina strong, because I'm not going to tolerate violence of any kind in my home state anywhere.
Okay, Southern Charm, though, let's be honest, though, has gone downhill since season 3. What is your opinion on Southern Charm when they got rid of Thomas Ravenel?
I watched the first season, and I haven't seen it really since. But my staff actually was on a plane sitting next to, is it Craig?
Craig, yeah, he makes pillows. We love Craig. Yeah, we love Southern Charm.
They were taking selfies with him on the flight, some of my employees, and they were sending them to me. And I thought that was nice.
That is cool, and we love Bravo. I've used to work for Bravo. But you're talking about making people famous. I was going back. I wouldn't actually be speaking here if I didn't call AOC a big booty Latina, and then she made 16 Instagram videos saying who I was. Like, I was known, I had some followers, but she basically made me actually famous. So I actually like that. So be careful who you make famous.
You send her flowers and a thank you card?
I've sent her so much. I've sent her so many damn edible arrangements. I've sent everything. I've tried to mend the fences with her. As a matter of fact, I sued her. Long story short, I sued her, but the only reason I sued her is because she blocked me on Twitter, and I was trying to get it to where, long story short.
You weren't stalking her at all.
No, I wasn't stalking her. I just sued her because I wanted to be able to retweet her. My point is, we actually came to a settlement, but I wanted part of the settlement to be, I will never make fun of you, or I'll be nice to you. I'll never publicly, try to embarrass you. And long story short, we didn't come to a good agreement. I'll just tell you that much. So that's neither here nor there.
So you didn't win the agreement.
Well, kind of not really, but I can still talk about her, and she didn't win the agreement either. How about that? We both didn't make any concessions.
Nobody won. That's the way mediation is, though, sometimes.
That is exactly what happened. And she lost a little more money than me because I had a good attorney. But we talk about AOC, and the reason why she is popular is AOC, whether people want to admit it or not, I think she is very attractive. And I mean that. I think that counts for something, because we live in a very vapid, superficial society, whether we want to admit it or not, and that being attractive does help, because people just like attractive people. So I take a list of the hottest politicians. Obviously, Anna Paulina Luna, AOC. I mean, Nancy, I think you're right there. You might be number one, but I want to get don't worry about my opinion. I want to get your opinion. So what we did is we got some of the most controversial derrieres on Capitol Hill. And we want to be able to see if you can see and guess whose derriere is who. So we're going to show you zoomed in.
No.
Yes, real quick. Just real quick.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. No.
Full screen number 12. Just show this Congresswoman. Who is that right there?
I have no idea.
How do you not know that?
I don't know who that is.
You can't tell by his crinkly scoliosis back?
No. Who is that? There's 535 people in Congress.
But nobody has a back like that. That is Chuck Schumer. That's Chuck Schumer right there.
Really?
Okay. Now the next one. Don't worry. This isn't that inappropriate. Chuck Schumer. Okay. Now let's do full screen 15. Who is this congressman or woman?
Oh, is that you?
You wish. Lindsey Graham.
I have no idea.
How do you not know Lindsey Graham?
Because I don't look at derrieres all day.
Oh.
That's what perverts do.
Okay, well, then maybe call me a pervert. All right, now, almost last one. Almost last one. This one, full screen 18. Who is this congressperson, we'll say?
Is that Elizabeth Warren?
No, that is Nancy Pelosi. You're 0 for 3. Okay, this is the last one.
Okay, I'm 0 for all of them.
This is the last one. You have to get this one.
It was close. It was Democrat.
You have to get this one. This is the last one. Okay. FS20. Who is this congressperson? Oh,
that's me.
Yeah, why, Jimmy? Why did you zoom in? Jimmy, my producer, such an idiot. He did that last thing wrong. Okay, well, he's gonna get fired. Thank you, Congresswoman, for doing that. You're 0 for 4. That is you, but we have a bonus one. Now, this one, can you guess that rack right there? Who is that?
Oh, I think I know who that is, and I don't know. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not saying it. I'm not doing it. I know exactly who that is.
Yeah, you can tell exactly who that is. Isn't that weird?
It's Delaware, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Delaware. Right.
You got one. 1 for 4.
Yeah, I got one. You know, he blends his foundation in. He's got a nice blush. He now wears his pen like a necklace like mine. Yeah, he's a cross-dresser, that one.
Are you worried about that person using the restroom next to you? Because I feel like whatever. What's Sarah's real name? What's her real name?
Him.
I know, but what it was Tim McBride?
Mm-hmm.
Are you worried about Tim actually using the restroom next to you to try to?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
But to do it to make you feel uncomfortable. I'm saying like he'd do it to troll you, right?
100%. As someone who has been traumatized by a man who filmed me without my knowledge, permission, or consent. That's why I do all those revenge porn bills and voyeurism bills. You know, and someone who has survived an assault like that, it is a trigger for me. Just the idea that a man would be in a woman's private space. I am utterly willing to go off the rails to protect women and girls and their safety, because I know how perverted it is and what perverts are capable of doing, which is why I am just over the cliff over on this issue to protect women and girls. And it's my mission.
It is very important. Okay, we only have you for a couple more minutes. I just want to ask you this. Twitter sensation Jarvis, seems like there's a lot of, back and forth between you two. You know, there's rumors, even so, some say that y'all are in, dating or want to date, or he's.
I want to know who's behind Jarvis. I don't know if it's a male or a female. I've even had bets on it being a woman.
I don't know about that. Do we have evidence? What was the message that Jarvis sent? Let's show the message, full screen 24. Now, what did you read this, Jimmy?
So I asked him if he had a message for Congresswoman Mace. Said, all right, maybe you could ask her if she would like to don some paramilitary gear and go to LA with me. We could arrest hippies together. I think it would be really nice and bring the country together.
That's it.
100%. I'm all in. Let's go.
All right, that's a love. Hey. That's a love connection. So we're going to set you up with Jarvis. We're going to pay for all of that. We're going to pay for all the military fatigues, and we're going to send you guys on a lovely date. Okay, now before you go, now I'm going to ask you a couple hard questions. First hard question. Okay. This is a real hard question. I want your honest opinion, because you're going to give me your political answer. Everybody talks about government transparency. Everybody's talking about Epstein, this and that. For me, something that I'm very passionate about is 9/11. You look at the 9/11 Commission report, there's 28 pages redacted. Some people speculate that was Saudi Arabia's involvement. We don't know. They're redacted. Why can we not have more transparency when it comes to 9/11, an event that happened in 2001, 24 years ago, compared to now people are worried about JFK, all these things that really weren't in our lifetimes? For me, you look at Tower 7, there's a lot of funny business and red flags personally. So what is your opinion of 9/11? Was it perpetrated by people within the United States government?
I don't think it was perpetrated by people in the United States government. However, I do have concerns about Saudi Arabia. I share concerns about their involvement, since all of the terrorists were Saudi Arabian. I think there are people overseas we can't trust. I mean, look at what Qatar has done, behind our backs, talking out of both sides of their mouths, whether it's to the U.S. or to terrorists, et cetera. But I have not read the report or looked at it in years. But we shouldn't be redacting that much information. I understand redacting names to protect, assets that we have overseas and here domestically and abroad. I get that part of it, or organizations that are involved. But to redact that many pages doesn't make a lot of sense this long after, over 20 years since it happened.
Yeah, I would.
But government transparency is just, I mean, it's just a slogan. It's not real.
It's not real. You're right, and that's the problem is that Congresswoman, as soon as you got in, you could have the best aspirations possible. Once you get in, you realize, hey, this is a corrupt system, and even I, working, being as earnest and doing everything right, can still not kind of defeat this huge machine. So it is tough. It's a really sad situation, but I'm so happy that we do have strong women, female leaders like you trying to help other women. When I see AOC and her not standing up for women in women's sports, it's absolutely disgusting, and I think it really goes against women. So let's just ask this though real quick. Gender roles, men, women, this, that. Is it tough though? Do you get a lot of hate because you're kind of in the masculine role. You're the congresswoman. It has to be kind of hard to probably date and be the submissive when you are.
I'm an alpha male.
That's what I'm saying. You're an alpha male. I know you're alpha. Isn't that hard?
Yeah, I'm alpha.
Yeah, it's probably hard.
No, it was very hard. And I don't date anymore after the trauma I went through in November of 2023.
Well, Jarvis, you're about to go on a date.
Jarvis,
but yeah,
I would
Jarvis,
make an exception for Jarvis. But I'm married to the job, and I love South Carolina. So, you know, I've made that decision, and it is an untraditional role. I grew up with my mom. My mom worked, she was a teacher, but also she stayed home with us. And I stayed home with my children when they were young. And I started my own company, and I was able to work out of my house and be a mom and all of that. It is untraditional because I am so alpha. I have so much alpha energy. It is hard, and I've kind of given up on the personal relationship side of thing. If God gifts me with a relationship, great, and if he doesn't, great. I'm serving in a capacity, in a role that I believe is faithful to the God that I worship and my Savior Jesus Christ, but also to the people that I love in South Carolina. That's what's most important.
There's a lot of guys that would be, they would be the cat's meow to have a sitting congresswoman like yourself. So I know that there's a lot of suitors out there. Okay, before you go, though, Congresswoman, how can my followers and how can my viewers help and support you in all of your future endeavors?
Well, they can follow us online on social media, support us, retweet us, amplify our work. You can learn more online by looking at Nancy Mace. But we're here. We're here to fight, and we would love to have you in our fight with us.
And I am. And okay, what about stock trading, this and that, Nancy? Why? It kind of goes back.
I don't trade stocks.
No, I know.
So,
that's saying you're one of the good ones. I'm saying you're one of the good ones. It kind of goes back.
I'm one of the poorest members of Congress because I don't trade stocks.
Well, but you could gamble on transgenders and we could be rich together. So do you see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. I was going to say all of them doing the stock game. We can do the trans gambling game and win money, and then you can.
But members of Congress shouldn't be trading stocks. I mean, we are market makers. We're market influencers. I learned that in my first couple pieces of legislation that we can move markets, and we should not be in the market when we do.
You are right. It is a powerful entity, and as soon as we get in there, it's going to artificially affect it. So, all right. Thank you, Congresswoman. Oh, actually, one last thing. This person, full screen 10, sorry, Lily Tina, I forgot to ask you about this. This person just got in trouble. I know, but in Florida, they can't take pictures in the bathroom. This person admitted that they took a bunch of pictures in the bathroom. Will you send this person to jail?
I would. If you're a man in a woman's bathroom and it's against the law, you shouldn't be there, then yeah, whatever, everything's on the table here. Like, just be a decent human being and respect women. This guy is a bigot. He's a misogynist. He's the patriarchy, literally the patriarchy. He's making fun of women. Women don't like dress like he is. And I've seen some of his videos when he had feminine surgery that didn't make him look more feminine. I've seen this guy online and he mocks us. It's disgusting. And why are they filming themselves in the bathroom? It's perverted, it's gross, and children should not be exposed to that at all.
No, you're exactly right, and that's why we are so lucky to have you, and the people of South Carolina are lucky to have you. And Congresswoman, anything I can do to help while you're in Dallas, we're going to set you up with Jarvis. I'll have my team.
Are you going to be there?
Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there. Yes, I will.
I'd love to see you.
Yes, I will see you. I will see you this weekend.
High five in Dallas.
We're going to be high-fiving. We're going to be yelling at, hopefully it gets protested outside. That would be great.
Can I say the word tranny in my speech?
Yeah, you can say tranny. We love it. Are you kidding? We love it. And we like cars here, too. So people that like cars will think you're talking about transmissions. The girls will think you're talking about transgenders. Regardless, it'll be well received here in Texas. So thank you. We really appreciate you making time in your busy schedule. And like I said, we'll see you this weekend at Turning Point's Young Women's Leadership Summit. Go to ls.com, I believe, is the website. We'll put the link in the description. You can get to see the Congresswoman Nancy Mace, Alex Clark, a bunch of the other very influential politicians and conservative influencers will be there. So it'll be a great event. So thank you, Congresswoman. Have a good evening, and we'll talk to you again. We'll talk to you this weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, wow, she called me Shirthy, and you should have showed that. I would like that. My baby, I love my girlfriend prepaid wireless. Paige has never called me Sir, so but I love my baby.
We got a $20 super chat. Aaron Go Bragg says, "Hey Alex, what do you call a straight officer infiltrating a gay crime syndicate? An undercover COCK."
Okay, they paid $20 for that though, so thank you. That was good. That was actually a good joke. An undercover cock. I get it. Yeah. All right, guys, that's been our show. But real quick, I guess I won't pull it back up, but I kind of wanted to. We're about to do the freestyle finale. We didn't get to wrap up the Finney, the legend thing real quick. So just real quick, just show my computer. I just want to say, guys, go to Misery Loves Clips. You guys can kind of find this, but this is a huge story. I think people need to watch it because it is relevant to what I do, considering I'm an online personality and I do a lot of public events. I hope that this doesn't escalate, and I hope I do not get shot. So it is a very serious thing. So very sad about Finney the legend. But oh, this is what I want to show you. This is what I want to show you. Sorry. I showed you this. Okay, Finney the legend, the guy that died. We're about to end the show. The guy that died. If you go to his YouTube, this is what I thought was so weird. You go to Finney the legend's YouTube. And this is the guy that died. I keep on saying that. You go to his thing. Now you look at his videos. You can show this. This is his latest video. Like he would do live videos a little more recent. But his first, and this is the video where he got shot. This is the, you can actually watch the whole live stream, and it's still up. But this is what's so weird. You go to like this unboxing video, and look at the comments. Hold on, it's just him doing a little unboxing video, like literally just trying to make some content. And you look at the comments. If you actually go to the newest, the comments are so disgusting. Black man got deleted by an illegal immigrant. Ain't no rules out here. He went from unboxing to being put in a box. Crazy world. Not much TV watching where he and his wife are now. Damn, you've pulled a Savage Studio. Sad as fuck. His ass died for 6K subs. Hell nah. I mean, some of these comments, guys, are absolutely disgusting. So I'm not saying do better, but man, society, I don't know if society can do better, but I know that we have great people like Nancy Mace, and we got to thank Dr. Emily Trunnell for coming on and helping helpless animals. We love that so much. And guys, we got a big show tomorrow night. Who do we have? Lauren Boebert on the show?
We got Lauren Boebert.
Another excellent, attractive Congresswoman, and thank you, I mean that, to the Congresswoman Nancy Mace for coming on the show. We hope to see her at the Young Women's Leadership Summit.
And you want to preview Thursday's show is going to be fun, too.
What's Thursday's show?
We have Alexis Wilkins in
studio. Oh,
yeah,
we got Alexis Wilkins in studio. Cash Patel's, I don't think they're engaged, but his girlfriend, going to be great. Love Alexis, friend of the show. She's actually helped me out a lot, so I'm really excited to have her on the show. We're going to ask her, not too many hard questions, but we're going to ask her about that Joe Rogan interview, and she's willing to talk about it. So you guys don't want to miss that. And then other than that, I think that's it. We got a great show tomorrow, Lauren Boebert. Great show with Alexis Wilkins. Next week, we got a great show with Jesse Lee Peterson. And, yeah, we got a bunch of other great stuff. $1 Million Extreme. If you're in L.A., go see it. I think we got Sam and the crew coming on next week, I believe. We'll get that sorted out. But I saw this premiere. It's like how I described it, and I don't know if Sam, I hope this didn't hurt Sam's feeling. I loved the show Portlandia. It was kind of similar to Portlandia. I mean, different, better than Portlandia, but I liked how a sketch would start, but the sketch would last it would go sketch to sketch, and then at the end, you know, it'd kind of wrap up. I loved how Portlandia would do that. So it wouldn't just be like a 3-minute sketch. It'd be like 1 minute of a sketch, and the sketch would, long story short, everybody needs to go watch it. It's so incredibly well made. Sam did a great job. Eric Hayden, Charles Carroll, Nick Rochefort, the whole crew, Chris Lynch. They have a lot to be proud of. You guys do not want to miss that. So, guys, thank you for watching. But we end the show the same way every time with our freestyle finale. So, DJ, hit that beat. Yo, yo, yo. Melons on my chest. Melons on my chest. Melons on my titties. In different cities. Nancy Mace didn't comment on these big titties sitting on my desk. I don't give a damn. I feel pressed when I touch the breast. I put it on my chest. And you know I rhyme the best. I'm prime time, Alex Stein. Blow your mind every time. Got the melons on my chest. Don't they look like some nice green breasts? All right, guys, I love you. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Lauren Boebert tomorrow night. Peace.